Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. If you are new, welcome, and if you are coming back, then thank you. Okay, we have another 4-in-1 video for you guys. Okay, so 4 looks, 1 video on the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. This was on my list of no buys. Okay, I watched The Fancy Face, I think it's her channel here on YouTube, and she did a video of all her things that whether she was buying them or not, and I had agreed with her that I'm not buying this palette. Okay, all them golds, what's somebody gonna do with all them golds? It's too much of the same thing. But I picked it up, obviously, because I was so intrigued. I've never tried anything from Natasha Denona, so I was very curious, especially when I saw a lot of reviews saying how good it was. So here we are. If you want to see the looks that I create with this palette, then definitely stay tuned to the video, or stay tuned, watch the video. I'm gonna put timestamps. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but in my video description boxes I have been putting timestamps so that you guys can skip ahead to whatever part of the video that you might find more interesting, rather than having to watch through or try to scroll and figure things out on your own. So I did put the timestamps in the description bar for you to skip to any look that you might want to see. And yeah, definitely keep on watching. And if you want to stay connected with me outside of YouTube, definitely hit me up on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you like this video, please thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And yeah, I will be talking to you guys really, really soon. Stay tuned for the looks. Let's get into the first look. My eyes have been primed and concealed, and I'm just gonna make sure I blend that out some more. Wait, let me show you guys the way this palette is set up. So it's got this sheet here that is attached, and then the mirror. And so on the sheet obviously are the shades. So when you lay the palette down like so, you got names on top of the shades. However, this is freaking annoying. It is detachable. I see the little perforated line. You can pull it out. So it's totally up to you if you want to keep it in. I'm keeping it in right now because I'm not quite sure if I'm going to keep this palette. Once again, it's $129. Yeah. I'm going to go into Dijon, like a yellowy green mustard shade. Use that. There is kick up in the pan, but that's fine with me. And I'm gonna just pop that into the crease area. As you can see, it really isn't doing a whole bunch, but it is warming up the crease a bit. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the color. Alright, we got a couple more satin type shades in Varus and Aurum. These two there, which I just kind of dug with this stupid plastic. So I think I'm going to go in with Aurum on the inner lid with a flat brush. And I don't have any glitter glue down, so we're going to see how this performs without any glitter glue. It's laying down nicely, but it's not like as intense as I've had in other palettes recently. But this doesn't have any fallout. This has no fallout, this shade. And I can definitely appreciate that a lot. Taking that up into, this part here. That's a pretty shade. Ain't no denying that. And I'm going to go to Varus, because this has a similar... Looks like it has a similar texture, just a more bronzy shade on the same brush after I wiped it off. And then just blend that into the other shade. So these are nice satin metallic shades. Nothing too, revolutionary here. So next, I think I'm going to take one of these like more glittery shades just to show you guys how they perform. And some of these have like a greenish type of type of tint to them. Like on this side here, these all have like some sort of like greenish shift. Of course, obviously that one, but this one and this one have more of like, you can't tell on camera, but more of like a greenish type duochrome shift. You will see it in the swatches. So I'm going to leave those alone and go and stick to this side over here. I'm going to stick to this side today. So I think I'm going to use the other shade above Varis and go to Cava, this one here. And I'm going to put some glitter glue down and pop that on the transition area between the more yellow gold and the bronze shade. Don't need a lot of it, but I probably put too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger, that shade I talked about, and pop that where I put the glue. So you can see it's really a light, faint glitter. It doesn't have a lot of base color to it. So when it doesn't have a lot of base, it's really just a lot of glitter. Wow. And that gives it like a really intense, high shine look. Because it doesn't have a strong color base underneath the glitter, it blends really nicely on top of the shades that I'm laying it down on. I haven't put a dark shade in the crease, so I'm going to do that right now with Log. So this is just a flat little shader brush. I'm just going to go into that real simply and get into the crease. Oh, this has a lot of pigment to it, guys. I was not expecting it to go on this pigmented and this dark. Because I went lower in the crease, it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to be too smoky. Getting back into the transition shade and blending. And you don't really need a lot of work with this. I'm going to do eyeliner and my mascara, blush and all that, and I will be back with the final look. Guys, so here is the final look. Face all completed, lips done. And here it is. Woohoo! Alright, here it is. Closer up for you. Alright guys, so we are going into another look. Alright, so we're going into Dijon, the yellow shade. Dijon on a fluffy brush. See. Alright, I'm going to go back with that on the actual lid. With another brush, I'm going into Sandstone and just blending any Dijon out a little bit more and basically coming right up under the brow. Next, I'm going into Log, the dark brown, and placing that in the crease. Ooh, that's deep. Man, I picked up a lot. Going in with the brush that I used to apply Dijon and blending that out. And turning into like an army green type of look, which is not what I was going for. Alright, this is a pretty basic look. Mixing in with the Log, it turned a little bit like greenish. At least that's the way it's looking on camera. Well, that is what it is. I'm not taking it off. Alright, let's see what I can do with some teak. I'm going to try to change this up a little bit with teak, which I don't know if that was a good idea or not. That's that. So for my brow bone, since the eyelid is all matte, I'm going to go into a little bit of this gold Cava. And just get a little bit of that up there. No harsh lines, which it wouldn't be with that shade because it's more of like a topper. Alright. And then for the inner corner, I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to go in with Aurum. We'll pop it on the inner corner. So we've got a matte lid with a pop, with a, you know, poppy pop in the inner corner. And I'm going to do my mascara, eyeliner, and my other eye, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so here is the final look. Hey guys, look a little bit different. I just washed my hair and all that good stuff, but let's get on to this one. I'm going into the transition area with Dijon. And this is a little bit of a stiffer brush, but just laying that down nicely. Because of my skin tone, it gives it a little bit of a olivey tint. And then I'm taking a little fluffier brush and I'm going into Aria and just going above that, basically right under the brow bone. And that seems like it's pretty much optional, but it does provide a little bit more of a blend. Taking a little bit more of a pointed blender, going into Python. It's a satin, a deep, rich turquoise, green, blue satin. Putting that in the crease. And I did take it all the way down here a little bit and onto the outer V, and then once I've applied it directly to where I want it to be, just take a little bit, blend a little bit up into that transition area. Going back onto the brush that I put down Dijon and taking that on the edges of that Python and in circular motions. And I hope you guys can see how easily these shadows blend. Like, it does not take a lot of work. Alright, to assist with the lid colors, I'm going to use some glitter glue and place this on the lid. And I'm just placing that on the outer 2/3 of the eye, not doing that, not placing that on the inner third yet. Alright, and then I'm going to go into Aurora, a chroma crystal. Her formula is like a real sparkly. It's blue, sparkly, you know, it looks like a little bit of a duochrome type of a look to it, but it doesn't have a strong color base. So I am packing that with my finger wherever I put the glitter glue. Gosh, look at how that come on camera. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Because when I was doing this eye, I didn't have my lights on and my camera, you know, so it looks pretty in person, but the light is just wow. I got some glitter glue left on my hand that's not dried down, so I'm going to put that on the inner third of this eye. And now I'm going to take another crystal shade, but I'm going to go in with Kava. It's another crystal shade. It's a very thin formula, so all it is it's like it has a transparent base to it, and then it's just a lot of nice gold fine shimmer. So you really do need to have a glitter glue if you want it to show up very intense. So I'm going in and pressing that right in. Because there's like a little hint of blue right there, it's like just blending in so nicely. I'm going to go back in with this little pointed brush that we used in Python, and I'm going to go back into Python and deepen up that crease. And here I'm just going to be doing some packing, really. Right, I'm taking Oro. See what I can put on the inner corner. Ooh. Well, but I probably could have gone with something different. It's pretty. It's still pretty, but let me do liner and mascara and I will be back. Okay, guys, so here is the final look. Oh, before I get to that, what I did on the bottom lash line was I basically just swept some teak. Let me show you guys. This is the second deepest brown shade in the palette. So I took Teak right here under my lash line, smudged that out pretty low, and closer to the lash line I took Log, swept that under the lash line, under the lash line up until the inner third, and then I went back over that with the Python shade on a very tiny brush and just really close to the lash line, smudge that, and then try to like blend it all together. And I brought the Oro shade farther in on the lower lash line just to bring that all the way around. Of course, mascara, and then that's the look. So let me get closer to you guys for you all to see it. Hey guys, so I went on ahead and did my first eye. First, going into Sandstone, a fluffy brush in the transition area. Okay, then I'm going into Log. I'm going to make a semi-halo eye. As you can see, it's not too intense of a halo, but it's dark right in this inner corner. I didn't want to make it so like a real small halo. I wanted the pop in the middle to be a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to place that on the outer corner of the eye and then drag into the crease. Oh yeah, I'm going on obviously on the inner corner here. And then just doing a connection right here. Okay, so now I've got that laid down. I'm going to take that brush we used for the transition area and blend that. Okay, so now I'm going to take glitter glue on that entire clear blank area. Now I'm going to go into the shade Oro, which might be one of my favorite shades in this palette, even though I haven't used it that much throughout this 4-in-1 review. So I'm going in with my finger just a little bit. I didn't even dig into that very much, and I'm just pressing that, focusing it on the center initially, and then pulling out as I get to the after I've put the majority on the center of the eye. I'm going to just pat a little bit towards the sides. And so next I'm going to go into a Varus, okay? And I'm going to place that using a finger on the perimeter of that Oro shade that we just placed down. So can you see how it went from that Oro to that Varus shade? Very pretty. And that just provides a nice transition from the dark Log to a deeper like shimmer shade or metallic shade in Varus to the brighter metallic shade of Oro. A flat brush with Varus, and just make sure it's blended out into the Log shade. This is so pretty. My gosh. And, you know, just make sure things are blended out. But this shadow is so easy to use. I'm telling you guys, like, I don't have to go back and re-blend a whole bunch. Because just placing it down with a nice brush, you know, with a brush that has a little bit of a blend, like a little fluff to it, when you put it down, it just seems like it naturally blends together. I don't know. So I don't have any harsh lines to go back and blend out. It's very nice. So, but if you do, of course, just go back with your transition shade brush and blend until you are satisfied. So that's it for the shadow. I'm going to go on ahead, do my mascara and liner, and come back. Alright guys, so I'm back with the final look. Everything has been completed and I'm really enjoying this look. Might be one of my faves that I came up with. So, here is a closer shot of the eyes. Okay. So that's basically it. I love the look. Oh, for the under eye, I just swept some of the richer tan shade. It's called, if I can open up the palette. See, this is good. They got a nice magnet on this palette. Teak. Okay, I swept some teak underneath the eye the lash line, and then put on my bottom lash mascara, and then that was it. I didn't do too much to the lower lash line. So yeah guys, hopefully this was a good, hopefully you enjoyed all the looks that I've done so far for this palette. With this palette, I did a couple looks off camera and I liked those as well. So but anyways, this is a good palette. I am very happy with my choice to purchase the palette. I think on the first look I was saying, like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it, this, that, and the other. I wasn't quite sure about it because of the price, and I wasn't quite sure how to work with some of the shades. But I did, you know, educate myself a little bit on this Natasha Denona formula for some of her those like crystal shades, that I was talking to you guys about in the previous video, or in the previous look. So once I learned what these were supposed to be doing and stuff, I was like, okay, these are not regular metallics. They don't have a strong like color base to them. They're meant to be more like toppers. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm a fan. I am a fan. This is good, especially the mattes. They blend out so nicely. So a con, I would say, for this palette is that, like I've said to you guys, for me, I've got three crease shades, 1, 2, and 3, because when you put this on, for me, on top, the way I set my eyes, it deepens a little bit. So you would think that this would just be my skin tone, but when I put it on, it's a nice subtle crease shade for me. So I could, if I wanted to do like a more subtle look, not as deep of a crease, then this one will be perfect for me. And then this one is great, and obviously these two are perfect. You know, as far as tones of a crease shade that you usually look for. You look for something that's darker. So those are great. They blend out nicely. But these two shades here, this, right, that one, and then this one. So I use this one on my eyes today as my transition. It's called Sandstone and Aria. Sandstone and Aria. They are very, very, very similar. There's just a subtle difference. I think this one is this is Aria, a tinge lighter than Sandstone, and it might just be because it has a different undertone to it. But if they had a nice like cream shade or a peach, not a peach, like a nice cream, like vanilla looking shade, that would be nice. Or even like a off-white, just something lighter than these, so that it could be, you know, used in, you know, for your brow bone area. Those are basically the same color as my skin tone, as you saw today. So there's really not like something like Fresh in the Sultry palette. Fresh is a nice cream shade. You can use it intensely and get a nice white look, a nice white creamy payoff with it, or you can use it lightly under the brow bone to just give a nice subtle matte highlight. And we don't have really anything in here like that in this gold palette. So especially if you are of a lighter skin tone, you're really not going to have nothing for your brow bone. So those are just my initial thoughts. I don't know what else I can say about it other than it's bomb. If you're willing to shell out the $129 to get it, then definitely, I don't think you would be disappointed. This is a very everyday friendly palette, which is one of the reasons why I picked it. She has a couple other palettes that are the same price range, I think. I think it's called like the Sunset palette and then the Lila palette. But I didn't feel like those were like everyday for me, especially the Lila. I think that's like more purple toned and things. Sunset maybe, but this is the one that intrigued me with all these golds. I love using gold eyeshadow on an everyday type of a look. So very nice, very, very, very nice. And when I looked at this palette, I was like, everything looks the same. When I saw the pictures or whatever, I think on Trend Mood, I was just like, why would anybody buy that? It's like every single shade of gold, like all the golds look the same, but they really are not. So I'm gonna do some swatches. All right, going on the top row. So as you can see, this one has more of a greenish, bluish tint to it. It is a duochrome, and I don't know if the duochrome is really presenting itself on the camera, on the viewfinder, you know, with the lighting and such. I don't know if you can tell, but this is like a greenish golden duochrome. This is the matte shade that I used in a previous look. This is what I just put underneath my brow bone. This is one of the shades. This is Aria, the matter brown shade, and then this is the other crystal color, the other crystal shade that doesn't really have a base to it, but it has more of a golden hint to it. So there's those 5. Let me see if I can get 5 more. This is the second row here. That is so beautiful. Alright, so the next 5 shades, this is another crystal shade. I think they call this a chroma crystal. This has a bluish undertone to it, but it is very sheer, so it's a perfect topper. It's going to be a perfect topper shade, especially for that Python that I swiped up top, that dark blue shade. Then we've got Dijon, which is a mustardy yellow shade. Then the Oro, which we use today. The Log shade, which we use today and in the other days for our crease. And then here is the shade, the other shade that we used to blend out Oro into Log. So that's what that shade is. Alright, so on this arm, we've got the last row. Alright, and so this is the final row. This is a very metallic, it has like a greenish tone to it. It's a gold, but it looks a little bit more green. Then we've got another matte shade, that Sandstone, that I used today as my transition shade. This is another metallic, similar consistency to that, but it's a nice bronzy gold. We've got Teak, which is the one that I said could be another transition or another crease color for me, and it blended right into the skin, but when you build it up in the crease, it does look a bit darker than it's swatching. And then this one is just another gold, but it has a different consistency to it. Some of these shades are not, all these gold shades are not the same, and they perform differently. They give you different looks, different effects, so you can really use this for multiple looks, as you saw in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful for you. If you were thinking about trying a Natasha Denona palette, I do think you will be pleased with your purchase with this one. Let me know what look you guys liked the most, and you know, what are your thoughts? Will you be getting this palette? And also, don't forget to thumbs up the video and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more content from me. And if you want to hook up with me outside of YouTube, definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram. Alright, I will be talking to you guys very, very soon. Thank you for watching. See ya.